By the way, I want to show this. We're going to move this in a second. Hang on. Big Black Friday. Oh, that's funny. That's real funny. Let's actually... Hang on a second. There we go. I just wanted to show that off because I just now noticed it and it's really funny. I was like, it's BBF, Big Black Friday. Anyways. Yeah, I use malware bytes, sue me. Let's get rid of that while I'm looking at it. Go away. Okay. You guys get to see my desktop for a second. Try and analyze it all. I don't know why that was trying to analyze it all. Oh, let's talk about my angry energy here. Okay, this is entirely RuneScape based. If you want to ignore what I'm going to say while I take care of this part, fine. Go right ahead. Okay, so when you're a dum-dum in RuneScape and you're sweaty and you go, well, actually, when you use prayers, you don't take any damage, so defense doesn't matter. That doesn't matter when bosses hit through fucking prayer like Abyssal Sire, now does it, dum-dum? Oops. All berries. They still deal damage. Duh. Fucking idiot. I love when people say that, though. It's like, oh, well, I'm fucking smart because just do strength. Why? Why would you just level strength? That's fucking stupid. You also need... Alright, I'm gonna be real here. I don't understand RuneScape PvP, and I've played RuneScape since like 2005. So if you're like, oh, but PvP is so good, convince me. Convince me why PvP is fun. It's not. It's just not fun. You know what? It's not like it is in the day. Back in the day, you know how fucking sick it was to go out there and just beat down people in wilderness? It was the raddest shit ever, and cool, we found the fucking thing ASAP. Good. I think this is a situation I don't need to be in, and is very dangerous. Uh-oh. I put myself in a fuckable position. Oh boy. I was not ready for this. Not even close. Let's steady on here. Okay, there we go. I've always been of the impression that RuneScape's PvP was only good at one point in time. That was when you used to go out in the middle of fucking Edgeville and you used to beat down like 50 people all at once. There was no mercy, you dogpiled people. That is PvP. You can't convince me otherwise. Just massive beatdown. That is so much fun. This bullshit like clan shit, no, that's not fun. You know what we want? We want to go fucking beat down 50 dudes. Do I talk to Kane? Oh, we talked to Alcor. I knew that. He goes, they book. But no, those jackasses that are like, oh, well, you don't take damage, so just armor's pointless. It's like, cool, what happens when you fuck up your prayer switch, you idiot? Then you take a shitload of damage and you look really dumb in front of everybody there. And then you wipe. It's really funny. I laugh at it. I don't do raids for this exact reason, because I'm a sadistic bastard. But, well, not yet. Ooh, key word there. Seth wants to learn. But, no. If you're like, oh, well, strength is the only important stat in RuneScape, well, then you're just dumb. I'm sorry, you can't be helped. If you think that's the only important melee stat, you're just not thinking clearly. Trip Larson 2023. It's true. You're just not. At that point, you're just being ignorant and stupid. Like, if you're like, oh, well, this set of gear is bad because it doesn't have a strength bonus, you're playing the game wrong. There is an advantage of having a strength bonus if your stats are actually good enough to use it. That's the main thing. If your stats aren't sufficiently high enough to make use out of the bonus, this is exactly why I was saying how plus skill gear, not as important if your stats aren't really up to snuff. If it's not worth your time. But this is the thing. If you have, let's say, Torva, right? Let's say you have Torva gear, which is best in slot currently for melee. So if you have best in slot Torva gear, and you have 99 strength, and like fucking 60 attack, and like 10 defense, you know what you're gonna do? Every time you take any... God, this is almost making me throw up having to say it. You're gonna lose, like, so much damage potential because your DPS is slow because your attack isn't high. You're gonna hit less high, less often because your attack is too low. And if you get hit, you're gonna take a shitload of damage. If you have 99 strength, 99 attack, 99 defense, then the gear's better. It's infinitely better because you're making use out of all the benefits of the gear itself. You get the higher strength bonus because you have higher strength. You have a higher defense because you have a higher defense stat stacking into it. That is how the stats work in RuneScape. It doesn't... Because you could be like, oh, well, fucking bronze gear to, like, myth gear is hardly a difference. When you're that low a level, yeah, it is. Like, every single, like, point in your stats actually matters in RuneScape over time. And if you don't believe how important buffs are, I don't know what to tell you. I used to be like that. I'm like, oh, fuck it, you don't need buffs. And then guess what? I started using buffs in middle school and realized, wow, these are really fucking good. And I never looked back. So, it's like the difference between piety, right? I think piety gives, what is it, 20... Is it 25 melee? Everything? It increases everything melee. So, if you have piety with just strength bonus, you're not getting the max benefit from it. That is just the fucking dumbest shit ever. Like, why would you not utilize your entire stat pool? Because it takes longer to train. Well, then that sucks to be you. Figure out your time better. Fucking stop wasting on dumb shit and you actually will have your stats up better. That's all there is to it. Oh, I don't like farming. It takes a long time. I'm always broke because you go PvPing and you don't use anything useful. Okay, this is the other thing too. If you're like, how did Seth get all of his money in RuneScape? From fucking farming! Think about it, dude. If you're like, oh, well, farming, I'll just sell the herbs. No, don't fucking sell the herbs. Turn the herbs into potions. They sell for like 2 times more. And you can save some for yourself and then sell a bunch others. If you can't do that, that's why you're broke. That's all there is to it. Or you're just scamming people and you're dumb. I don't know. This is not worth my time to fight. Oh, God. That is awful. Where's my man? Where is my man? I am not fighting this. This is not worth anything. I don't care if that drops fucking Tyrael's might. That shit's not worth my time right this second. That's the thing, you know, it's like, oh, well, I just want to get gold. Why am I broke? Because you're spending your money on bullshit. That's all there is to it. Like, you're like, fucking, oh, I'm gonna get like 99 fire making. Why? Because I want a skill cape. Why do you want a skill cape for fucking fire making? You lose money doing it. It's pointless. Go wood cutting. Burn the logs you don't need. Then you will have fucking 99 wood cutting and you can fucking chop like 100 magic logs in less than like an hour. And then guess what? You can high elk those into like other things, or you can turn them into birdhouses. The people that don't utilize their skills in RuneScape are the broke-ass hoes. Just not even lying right now, man. That's exactly how it is. If you're like one of those fucking, oh, it doesn't... What's the GP per hour? Who fucking cares what the GP per hour is? Or sorry, XP per hour. Who cares what the XP per hour is if the drops are better? Fucking duh. Like, I'm sorry, that's just common sense. I think that's the biggest problem I have with people in RuneScape. I'm gonna take a drink real quick. Ugh. That was a spicy kombucha. Whoa. Well, it's not spicy, but it's pretty carbonated. I have 2 different gallons going at the same time. One is significantly more carbonated than the other. I need to replace the SCOBY in one of them anyways. But yeah, it's like, oh, Abyssal Sire's shit because it doesn't print money like Vorkath and Zulrah. I'm sorry. Oh, it's hard because I can't AFK it. Well, what the fuck is your problem, dude? Here's a good example. One of Sire's best drops that I get consistently every single time. Do you want to know what it is? Earth Orb. And you're probably like, oh, that's not that big of a deal. If you're buying fucking your stabs every day, even if it's not very many, like I have hard done because I value my time. So if I get 40, was it 70 stabs a day? Which I need to reclaim in a minute. But like, I had to scratch, by the way, that was itchy, it was driving me crazy. If you have 70 stabs, and you kill, let's say, 100 sire in a few days, because you can't just, you can only kill like two to 4 a trip. There's no fucking getting around it. You're not gonna kill it very quickly. Oh, what am I doing? I really should kill this shit. I'm very close to leveling. So like, if you get like orbs, you get like 50 orbs at a time. Do you know how much that is? That's like a mil. Like right there. That is a mil. And you're probably like, oh, but the orbs aren't worth a mil. High alch all of them. Like, high alch your fucking orbs after you've attached them to like a battle staff. They're 9.3k each with high alch value. You are bitching about nothing. Like, if you're like, oh, that boss doesn't drop good money. Oh, it drops like steel. Or sorry, it drops iron ore. Okay. Go to Blast Furnace, take 5 minutes, smelt all that ore. Watch how much it sells for. And if you want to get even better, turn it into cannonballs. Easy AFK money. Not even money, but just like actual, like just good XP. Use the cannonballs on something dumb. Oh, the boss is shit because it drops like 400 rune arrows. Okay, get a bow. Go AFK something. Use all those arrows up. Free money. Free XP. This is why I'm not an Iron Man, but this is why when people like me who play the game for a long time get drops like... Oh, that's another good example. Oh, what's his name? Abyssal Sire, because I just did that recently, again. I think I have like almost 400 KC on that. Only thing I'm missing is Miasma and Pet. That's it. So it's like, oh, that's shit. It's like, because he doesn't... What? Because he doesn't drop like 500 different... Fucking Blizzard, man. Jesus Christ. That is a nasty elite pack. Whoa. What was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. People go, oh, it's bad because it doesn't print fucking uniques like crazy. Because it's only... Okay, this is a bad spot. Holy shit. We need to lure this out of here, because this is really dangerous. Oh my god. It's like, oh, well, he doesn't drop, like, you know, Zulrah style drops, like where Zulrah just, you blink and Zulrah drops, like, one of 15 different uniques, and on top of, like, a bunch of noted shit. That's why I like Sire. It's not exactly rewarding, it's just a fun fight, and it's got actually good drop potential. So, like, oh, you don't get, like, fucking Toxic Blowpipe, you don't get, like, fucking Fanged Serpentine Helm. You just get, what, Abyssal Whip, Abyssal Dagger, Abyssal Bludgeon. And, oh, I need to get 3. I need to get the Axon and the Spine, and it's like... So? That's... It's like similar to fucking Skatizo's, like, summon thing. It's like you guaranteeably get it eventually. If you're gonna farm that boss and you just get that, eventually you're gonna get a fucking bludgeon. It doesn't matter. It's just, that's how random number generation works, dude. Like, and it's like, oh, well, the bludgeon's not that good. Okay, take the bludgeon to Seracnus and watch your entire statement be completely wrong. Because you take that shit to Seracnus, that's just easy gravy money. You're not fucking worried about shit, mate. You're doing it perfectly. It's absolutely ridiculous how good that is at Seracnus. But then you can be like, oh, just use fucking this. What's it called? Like, oh, what's that fucking thing called I'm thinking of? Yeah, that fucking thing. That fucking thing and this fucking thing, and... Go cast Blizzard somewhere else, you piece of shit. Goddamn. What is it? It's fucking... Oh, just use Justicar Mace. Okay. Let me just spend 128 mil. I just have that laying around. Totally. Everyone has 128 mil in RuneScape just in their back pocket. Just, you know, throw it out there and get a fucking complete endgame TOB drop. Sure, dude. That's exactly how that works. You fucking idiot. It's like Theoatrix. I don't mind him as a person, but goddamn, his guides are really ineffective. Like, he's like, just farm Zulrah for 6 hours and you'll eventually get this. My name's Theoatrix. And I'm like, wow, that's a useless guide. Wow. you should be at the level where you have this, like, fucking twisted bow. It's like, what if you're playing as Iron Man, dude? Then you do not have twisted bow. What do? You don't fucking just walk in there and just melt shit because you... I've actually seen a guide, I don't remember who it was. It wasn't Theoatrix, but it was some other dude. It was some, like, lesser-known one who suggested getting a fire cape for your first time with a twisted bow. Yeah, let that sink in. If you don't know anything about RuneScape, by the way, twisted bow is currently best in slot bow for range, and it deals, what is it, damage based on the mob's magic defense, am I correct? Anyways, it's 2.5 bill, so basically max cash. Yeah, people just fucking have that laying around. It's like, you fucking idiot. To get your fire cape you need a T-bow? Are you stupid? Were you born in fucking like a barn? Because my horses weren't born in barns, they were born in fields. And they were smarter than that. That's like saying you need to get a Ferrari before you get your fucking driver's license, okay? That's just dumb shit thinking that is genuinely dumb. Like, I don't know how people function when they think like that. It's just stupid. Like, it's like, wow, that's really toxic. It's like, no, that's really stupid. You know what I did mine with? I did mine with Blessed D'hide and, what was it? Blessed D'hide and Toxic, Blowpipe. You know how much that cost me? Under 2 mil. Like, and I didn't even use Ami darts. I think I used Addy darts because I was too cheap. And you know what? It took an hour and a half, but I got my fire cape. Took 2 tries, that's it. The first time I choked, I was like, oh, fuck! And I whiffed it. But, yeah, it was like, oh, just get a T-bow and you can fucking comfortably get it. It's like, are you stupid? Did you get your mom's credit card and then just buy a bunch of bonds or, like, gold off of some poor Venezuelan sucker? Like, yeah, no one fucking has a T-bow before they go in to get their fire cape. Maybe your infernal cape, but not your fire cape. That's fucking insane. That's also why I make these kinds of videos in Diablo 2. It's not like I just show up and go, oh, okay, fucking now we're in hell, by the way, and I have all this cool shit. You don't know what it's like, the struggle I have to go through to get that. You don't know how fucking difficult it is if you never played the class. Like, this is a learning experience for me and you. Unless it's something like Necro or Amazon or Sorceress or... Diablo 1. I know what I'm doing in those situations, but it's like, oh, well, how do I magic find? Oh, you know, you just get like Scolder's Eye or fucking this. Okay, well, slow down there, partner. We're like 5 miles away from getting there, right? Like, what do I need in between? What are areas I can comfortably do? It's like, okay, if you think like playing Iron Man's dumb in RuneScape, you're kind of on the right track, but you gotta remember, I actually played in like 2005, 2006 first. So things like the GE, they didn't exist. We had to actually figure out how to farm. We had to figure out how to get items specifically. We didn't even have wikis and shit to tell us these things. So like when people go out and they're like, oh, well, you need to get a, like, Dragon Warhammer, this. What about BGS? Oh, well, it's basically the same thing. No, it isn't. Whatever. So, yeah, Lizardman Shamans aren't hard, but you'll go fucking insane. Oh, excuse me, trying to get that drop. Like, that, it's like, what, 1 in like 4,000 for a D Warhammer right now? I think there should be more options for getting it, like they did with the Dragon Pick. Something harder, like Lizardman Super Shaman or something like that, I don't know. Something that is, like, mechanically similar but more complex and punishing for mistakes. And is a lot harder to kill with a higher drop rate. Even just by like a quarter difference drop rate, that would be a good idea in my opinion. But like, okay, what's the difference between BGS and D Warhammer, smart guy? Yeah, not very much, is there? What else? You know what else is really similar to that? The Dragon Mace. Do you know what you can get as a common elite clue scroll drop? Dragon Mace. Do you want to know what else you can drop Dragon Mace? Other monsters that aren't bosses as well. Think about it. Am I wrong?
Impossible.
Yeah, see, even the Barbarian says so. It's impossible. I'm right, you're wrong. It's like, this is the thing that shits me the most about like RuneScape is people try to like sweaty it, and it's like, oh, if you're not prey flicking perfectly with every single thing, you're just playing the game wrong. And then those same people use fucking tile markers because they're scrubs. I'm not saying you're a bad person, by the way, if you use tile markers, but I think you should really learn the integrity of the entire thing first, and then you can use tile markers, because it's just colorful training wheels. It really is. Like, do I have tile markers on how to fight this Dark Lord? No. I already know what I'm doing. You know, it's like I've seen so many different guides on YouTube for different bosses. One of them is like for Sire. Okay? Let me tell you how to fight Sire without even actually doing it. Pretend this hole right here is Sire. You go attack, move back, attack, move back. Actually, let's do it in real time like this. Attack, move back. Attack, move back. Attack, move back. Attack, move back. That's how you fight Sire. You do not need tile markers. And let's pretend, okay, pretend these things are the tentacles. This is the Sire. Don't stand in front of this. You'll get hit. Is that really hard to understand? Do you need a guide to tell you not to stand in front of the fucking whippy thing? Do you really need a fucking tile marker to show you not to stand on that? Can you really not deduce that? Oh, well, you need to stand exactly 2.5 tiles away from the miasma.
I need a key.
Or just don't stand in it. I mean, call me crazy, but you just don't stand in it. So you take all these complex sounding things. Everyone overcomplicates RuneScape bosses to, like, insane degrees. I'll tell you how to fight Sarachnis without thinking. So, alright, pretend this stash here. Let's say that's Sarachnis. Whack, whack. She moves over to here. You go, okay, protect range, protect melee. Whack, whack, moves over here. Protect range, protect melee. Whack, whack, move over here. Range, melee. There's the ADS. We kill the mage one, and then we go over here. We turn, and then we go. That's it. You just do that. It's not that hard. You do not need fucking tile markers in the middle to show you where her range is. You know the range is before you walk into her. You know when she stops using melee is the moment she starts using melee the moment she stops spitting her animation for her range attack. And you know what? You switch over, you don't take any damage. That easy. Like, do you really need tile markers to tell you that? If you do, I'm sorry. You need to not have to have training wheels. Okay? That's really not a hard concept to understand. Something like Leviathan. There was that. I watch a lot of King Condor when I'm bored because I like the sweary Australian man. He's funny, but it's also because he has a good point. It was what's his nuts? I can't remember his name. He was basically he's like a high end player. Basically, was like trying to argue that like the Leviathan mute plugin that was banned on RuneLite, which I don't use RuneLite, by the way. I use the official Jagex launcher and the client, and that's it. The only things I have enabled on that, by the way, which would be from RuneLite, would be Potion Timer and... yeah, that's really... and the Clue Scroll Helper, because I don't want to have to Alt-Tab every 2 seconds and do that, when I also know most of the steps as well. I don't need the guide to figure out how to do the slidey tile puzzles. Those are easy. But like, people found out this like weird exploit with, and it was an exploit with Leviathan, which if you're not familiar with RuneScape, it's basically, as of right now, one of the best late game PVM bosses. This is horrible durance. Wow. This is terrible. So they found, so he has this weird like mechanic where he prey flicks to your attack style, and he's in the pretend I'm the Leviathan right now, and I feel recharged. So he goes like range, melee, or sorry, magic, range, magic, range, 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 magic, range, range, magic, and you're moving in a circle like this. Is that really hard to grasp? Do you need tile markers to figure that out? There's already shadows on the map. I don't know what more you need. But anyways, they found out this mechanic that like deaf players are supposed to have, because it uses sound cues as well as like the visual color of the projectile. So there was one where you could just basically look at this plugin that was in RuneLite that literally just let you, like, by sound cue, and it showed a number for the sound, because each thing has a hexadecimal associated to sound as well. Basically, people were using that unintentionally to get, like, an advantage by letting them essentially look at what the boss was doing before the actual attack happened, and they preflicked perfectly over and over and over on a boss that is not supposed to be that easy. And people think that that's bad, that they took it out. It's like, yeah, no shit, that was fucking broken. Like, it completely devalues the boss that people put effort into. And it's like, yeah, you could use it if you were blind, or not blind, if you were deaf and colorblind, fair point. But if that option's there, are people going to abuse it immediately? Yes. That is, without a doubt, bullshit. And people were mad that, like, they took that out. And I'm like, dude, that's cheating. That's flat out cheating. I mean, not inherently cheating, but it's basically reading the boss's attacks. That's like if I knew exactly what Mephisto was going to do, and every single time. Like, if I knew exactly what Mephisto was going to do every single attack, that would be shit. That would be cheating. That wouldn't be fun. There would be no challenge to it, right? Mephisto's not very hard, but still. I'll show you an example in a second. I'm gonna re-roll this map on my own time, because that's really bad. God damn. The time has come. So, let's see. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I'll show you an example of what I'm talking about in Diablo 2. So, alright, we'll show you. Let Uncle Sethiel show you something here. Let me show you something. I'll put that there and pretend it's my Annihilus charm. So, let's go do something. Let me take a swig of my beverage. Okay. This, you know I'm pissed when I'm talking about Diablo and comparing it to RuneScape. Okay. So, let's say you can call this cheating because I already know the map, but that's really not a good map. See, by the way, this is absolutely long durance. I fucked up a thing, so now my maps are all... Yeah, this is a shit map too. This is actually almost verbatim the exact same map I just rolled. Alright, so let's show you an example of what I'm talking about. So let's say I knew exactly what Mephisto was going to do every time. Let's say... Okay, he's going to... Let's just let him do his thing for a minute. Let's let him kill my man. I can burn 50 grand, it's fine, whatever. So, actually, let's attack him too. Alright. Let's say I knew he's going to use Charge Bolt. And then, okay, he's going to go over, he's going to use that. I know exactly what he's going to do every time, and I'm completely, always, perfectly on the money because I have an advantage of just... Let's say, right where my mana bar is, let's say that was telling me what to move and what direction. Would this really be challenging at that point? Because look, alright, what's hard about Mephisto? Why do people think this is hard? You just walk back. This is... The only time I'm going to take damage is if I'm standing completely still. So, if you can do this, you can avoid Mephisto's damage with basically default walking speed. Like, this is why I'm like, you really need tile markers to tell you how to do this? Look at this. Does this look difficult?
I can't carry it.
No, it's not. Do you need markers to tell you where to go? No. Look at that. Okay, so, oh look, all these bolts. Let's let him do that a bit more. So, alright, come on, do your charge bolt shit. So that attack right there he's doing, I can just say, dodge to the left, dodge to the right, dodge to the opposite direction. So that right there, move away from it, let the lightning dissipate. If he does it again, go to the opposite direction he's shooting. Do I need map markers to tell me where to go to do this? And this is the highest difficulty. Oh no, he's using his Poison Nova. He does it up close. He doesn't do it anywhere else. So, okay. So now let's add some intrigue to it. Alright? I'm gonna spam. And start spamming on him. Do I need a map marker to tell me where to stand to deal damage to him? If I stand close to him, he's gonna do Poison Nova, and all that lightning is gonna hit me at once from his fucking chain lightning, and I'll die probably really quickly. Did I need a map marker to tell me how to do that? With good gear? No. But my point still stands. Is that a mechanically frustrating fight? No, not really. Is it hard? Not really. But can it all be mitigated by just saying avoid the damage by moving out of the way and looking at what the animation is that is casting at me? Is that really challenging to people? I don't know. Like, you don't just get map markers in this game. Like, that is... And you can be like, oh, how mean. It's like, okay, let's take MedianXL for example. Could you theoretically need map markers to do something like Faustinville or something? Go look up that map and tell me that is easier than, like, the shit you do in RuneScape. Leviathan, that ain't that hard. You just walk in a circle. The only damage you take is when you take dumb damage by not flicking correctly and doing something wrong. That is the design. It's also not meant to be easy. This is gonna be horrible. Why I'm not fighting this? I'm trying to find Isual. I always do this. Oh, that fire res is good. Do I need fucking map markers to show me where to move in this fight? No. I know you can argue as well. What about map markers for, like, raids? That's fine. If you should practice with them on. If it makes you feel better, sure. But if you're just using them and then just clicking on things and not actually engaging with it mechanically, that is a crutch. That is absolutely a crutch. That is the definition of a crutch. I can't even, like, you're not learning anything about the game mechanically. You're not learning how to move. You're just copying someone else's moveset and doing it like that. That isn't, like, learning. That's just repeating things. It's the same thing with, like, learning a language. You can learn a language, but if you have no idea how to actually apply it, you're just pointless. You're just repeating things you already know. In linguistic skill level, it's called parroting. You're not actually learning the language, you're just repeating patterns that you know and not actually applying it. What you really need is someone to actually challenge your like, skills, right? You need someone to teach you champion. You need someone to tell you if you're using something incorrectly or whatever. It's like if you never, like, let's say you want to learn a boss in RuneScape and you just immediately download some tile markers for a boss. Why not just give it a good honest try? Like, I don't see why you wouldn't do that. Like, just give it a couple good honest tries, learn how it moves, like how you should move, see if you can even do it without a guide. It's possible. Do you need a guide for killing cave kraken? No. You don't need a guide. People fucking try to make it all sweaty. And it's like, no, you can do that with Arims. That's what I do. Use Arims and a trident. And it's easy. Arims is cheaper than Ancestral. It's also cheaper than over time if you have an armor stand in your home. So it's like... Another good example is, like, why? Why would you even need a guide for that? The boss doesn't move. It has one typeless magic attack. You don't really need a guide to tell you, shoot the thing with magic. Fucking, why would you even bother trying to shoot its tentacles? That doesn't do anything, that just slows you down. Just fucking go up there, throw the fishing explosive in the hole, and then just turn on magic buff and stand still for like 5 minutes. It doesn't take that long. It takes like, oh wow, holy shit. Fucking Isual right up in my business. That's awesome. Like, oh, that's not awesome. I forgot he has cold buff because I'm used to playing characters that are ranged. Like, do you really? Like, do you need a guy to kill Cave Kraken? Just shoot it with fucking magic, it dies. You don't need Darox to kill Giant Mole, by the way. I will suggest, if you ever do Giant Mole, if you want to get into learning how to do that, you really do need Falidor Hard Shield to find it. It's a lot easier. But it's still doable without it. Oh wow, that was way faster than I thought. Visual. Yeah.
Even fallen angels deserve freedom.
Yeah. Thank you. Give me my 2 skill points, Tyrael. I need this damage. I could technically probably put this into this, but you know, that would imply the meta. No. Taunt. Need damage. We'll do a little bit of this area, and then we'll get the Soulstone Crush, and then we'll call it a day. Ultimately, that's what I want to do. But it's like, yeah, do you need a guide to tell you how to kill, like, KBD? No. I know these are much easier bosses, but this isn't about, like, the ethics of, like, bosses, obviously, of, like, difficulty. So, here's a good example. People that say Calfight Queen isn't hard are full of fucking shit. That's all there is to it. Calfight Queen's a shit boss, it's shit drops, it's shit mechanics, it's shit all around. It's a shit boss and needs to be redone. I will die on that hill. Calfight Queen is not worth your time. Maybe to do your Desert Diary, and that's after they fucking added the 128 Tattered Head drop. Calfight Queen's horrible. It's a terrible, terrible drop, like bias. I know it drops a fucking consumable every time you do it, but you know what? It's a shit boss. It's fucking awful. It doesn't drop anything good. It drops Dragon Chain Body, Dragon Two-Hander. Those are good high elk targets. And it eventually got Dragon Pickaxe added to its drop table. But fuck that. It's terrible. It's a horrible boss. It does so much damage to you. Actually, you know, I think I could fix the entire boss fight in one thing. Take out that goddamn unavoidable 30 damage that it can do to you. It would be fine. I wouldn't say it's great, but it's fine. I think personally that would fix it. Because it does 30 typeless damage. Like, randomly. There's no... And people always, oh, you gotta fucking eat underneath it and tick manipulate it and push into a corner. It's like... No, that's stupid and shit. You shouldn't have to do that to make the boss tolerable. And even then, it's still random. That's not fun. That's not a fun mechanical boss. That's just terrible. I'm sure if you go with like 2, maybe 3 people, it's probably fine. Because, like, let's look at it this way. What's more fun to fight? Dagonoth Kings or fucking... what's it called? Calfight Queen. Dagonoth Kings all fucking day. Like, dude, I love Dagonoth Kings. That's one of my new favorite bosses to farm. And you can be like, oh, well, yeah, you stand in the corner and you kill Rex. No, what are you, a fucking pussy? No, go bring your best gear that you can afford for a trip, and go try and kill all 3 of them. You don't need a guide to tell you it. This is the other thing, too. Oh, well, how do they work? Well, they're like fucking magnets. So, I'll tell you how to do Dagonoth Kings. You don't need a fucking map to tell you when to pray this, that, the other in their dungeon run-up. You do not need that, okay? You don't need that. You want to know what you do? Every time you see a Dagonoth in the dungeon run-up, protect range. Every time you see a walrus, magic. Every time you see a rock lobster, man, and then you get the idea. Whoa, oh, but what about the room with all the fucking things right before the ladder? You just fucking turn on Protect Magic, because that's the highest possible damage you're gonna take. Then that's not that hard. Like, you don't need to fucking fiddle-faddle with all this bullshit. Okay, so once you get in there, what's gonna happen? Supreme is gonna be right up in your business, 9 times out of 10. Turn on Protect from Magic, and you know why? Because your gear and food is more than enough to supplant the damage that Supreme does to you. Go, after you kill Supreme, go to the left of the entrance. Go over, put on your range gear, and start shooting Prime. Do you want to know why? Because if you go and stand in a corner and turn on long range, and you don't go all the way towards the very obvious spot that Rex is patrolling around, he will never aggro to you. And then guess what? You kill him, and then you flick on prey melee. You put on... You don't even need magic gear for this. You know what you just need? Trident of the Swamp and a book. That's it. Book of... what is it? Book of Darkness? Holy shit, I did not mean to do that. Like, that's it. And guess what? Trident of the Swamp and Book of Darkness, you can kill Rex in like a minute. Not even a minute. And you know what? By the time he's done, you can do a whole nother run of Dagonoth Kings. And you're probably like, oh, but how much... I gotta take in like blood thing and cast it on these... No. I need to get a Serpentine Helm and... No. You don't need that. Just bring 2 anti-poisons. You don't even need 2. You probably just need 1 super anti-poison. Oh, I should take anti-vet... No. Take anti-poison. Oh, but I gotta have my Elite Diaries done. No, you don't. You don't need fucking Elite Diaries done to do Dagonoth Kings. You're only gonna kill like 8 a trip. You're not really gonna get that much. Like, you're gonna get bones every time. Like, you don't need to technically stay there much longer. That 8 inventory slot is not really gonna change much. Here's the other thing too. Okay. So, what do you take? Oh, but man, if I gotta take all my gear. No, just take a basic switch. You can tri-brid very easily solo. It's not that difficult. I can do it with fucking blowpipe and like bandos, okay? That's... and 2 fucking pieces of magic gear. You can do it probably the same. You don't need to take a full fucking ancestral set to go kill Dagonoth Kings. That's just completely unfucking necessary. Okay, here's the other thing too. Okay, how do you heal? Oh, I gotta cast Blood Barrage on the Spinopoluses. No. You know what you do? You take Super Restore and 3 Cerebrews and like 2 Karambwans and 2 Sharks. And you know what? You will never ever have to heal. Because the only damage you should ever take in that fight is when you walk in. Because you can't control where Supreme spawns, and you can't control if Rex is in front of you. And oh no, if I gotta hop worlds if one of them... No. So if Rex spawns on top of you on accident when you go down the stairs, or sorry, the ladder, you know what you do? You walk up the ladder, you turn Protect Magic on, and you wait 3 seconds. And then he fucks off, and then you go back down. And then you just use up your food until it's done. Actually, you could probably take 6... Realistically, you can probably take 6 Cerebrews and 2 Restores, 2 Prayer Pots, 1 Super Anti-Poison, Pet Rock, and 1 Rune Throne Axe. Actually, no, I suggest bringing... Yeah, just 1 Stamina Pot, and the rest is your gear. And an emergency teleport out. Because, yeah, they can hit fucking... They slap the shit out of me, dude. They fucking Chris Rock and, you know, Will Smith my ass one time. They've done it numerous times, actually. They're way harder hitting than they look. And all it takes is a fuck-up, and I like that. Some people can be like, oh, but that's why I don't like them. I can't AFK them. Well, that just sucks to be you, dude. Why would you AFK them? Why would you think you can AFK something that much damage potential on you? That's just dumb. Like, just fight them. It's not that hard. Like, and you can be like, oh, well, I just want to get the rings. You can high elk all the Fremenic armor. Actually, yeah, you can do that. You can even bring in a rune pouch with like high elk on it, and you can stay there even longer. And you never have to leave. They're a very fun boss when you get the hang of it. You can probably comfortably kill 100 Dagonoth Kings altogether. Not like 1 of each, probably, each time. You're probably not... Realistically, if you want to make money there, you should probably be killing Supreme, probably the most. Because Supreme has the... Oh, that guy's got Curse. I need to get the fuck out of here. You can realistically kill Supreme the most, And you know, you can just bring a friend and be like, dude, you want to kill Rex? Sure. You don't need a safe spot to kill Rex, dude. Just fucking keep... Safe spotting is so shit. I'm sorry. You just need to learn the mechanics. That's all there is to it. If you're unwilling to learn the mechanics of the boss, you're never going to actually do anything harder in RuneScape as you keep going. The only time I've safe spotted legitimately is Jad, because I just wanted my fire cape and I couldn't be asked. This is just a hellhole. I'm not dealing with that. Like, safe spotting is really... It's like when you see people like safe spotting... what are they called? Like dragons and shit. I'm like... Or worms. I've seen people fucking try to safe spot worms once, and I was like, what are you fucking doing? Just get in there, dude. Like... Oh, that's the other thing. It's like, oh, just get in there and use... You gotta use range. It's like... I have never used range on dragons in 20 years playing RuneScape, dude. I don't know why people think that's a good idea. Like, yeah, use the Dragon Hunter crossbow. Sure, let me just spend about fucking 80 mil. Let me just do that, right? That mentality is just dumb. Like, I'm gonna be real here, a lot of the reason there was so much money in the entire economy in RuneScape for so long was because the duel arena was cancer on the economy, and it just completely fucked it. And the removal of it was the most incredibly beneficial thing for the RuneScape economy in my mind. And bots ruined it as well, but that's a different story. I think they should just IP ban people from Venezuela. That's just my opinion. I think that should just be a given, but that's just my opinion, right? I think it would actually help the integrity of the game, because they know it's a huge problem, and it would fix it if you IP banned them. Because gold farmers are not going to pay people with VPN providers and shit to actually protect their gold farming. But, no, dude, if you can't learn the mechanics, and you just want to rely on exploits, you don't really learn anything about it. It's not like learning a game on easy mode or something doesn't mean you didn't learn it. It just means you didn't learn it at the max potential. It's still victory, yeah, whatever. It's like that whole, like, nothing was learned thing from that fucking, like, Sekiro bullshit. It's like, who cares, dude? The guy just beat the game and had fun. He didn't actually... No one's, like, pointing a gun to your head and being like, you need to fucking do it like this or you die in real life or something. Like, no one does that. That's fucking stupid. Like, that's like saying I'm better than somebody because I can beat Diablo on Hell. It's like, yeah, anybody could do it if they just have enough time and patience. Like, it's not that hard. It is hard, but it's not an actual, like, flex on somebody in reality. It's pointless. It's like the people that are like, oh, Logan, you don't have an Avernic Defender? Yeah, dude, I don't have, like, 183 mil to just blow on a 2+ strength bonus, dude. I don't have that much time in my day. Like, after this, I'm gonna go log in for 5 minutes and then get my shit and go to bed. Like, I have to work tomorrow. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. If you validate yourself by only doing very specific things in, like, video games, you probably need therapy. Like, if your, like, validation in RuneScape comes from other people, that sucks. I feel bad for you. Like, if you can't just enjoy a game and learn it, that's fine. I'm gonna learn Cerberus, so, you know, what am I gonna do to learn Cerberus? Look at the wiki for 5 seconds and go, this looks way too complicated, then look up a guide and go, wow, this is too complicated for something very simple. Learn the boss, and then figure out what I need to do, tweak my inventory to make it work, and then be done with it. Do I care if I get some smoldering stones, or, like, Pegasian crystals, or whatever? That'd be cool, but I just want to learn it because it's something new. It's new to me, you know, that's the most important thing. This fucking shit needs to die. It's been on this fucking spot for too long. Go away, goddamn. There's little tiny ones that are getting in the way and I can't get on top of it. Like, I don't know, man, if you think a game's too hard, consider why it's hard. If you think it's too easy, consider why you think it's too easy. Alright, what we get? Perfect Skull, Shale Rune, That's pretty bad. Well, it's not bad, but it's not great either. Let's go ahead and put that up, and then we'll find the waypoint to Diablo and call it a video. Before I fire up even more shit. It's like, I don't know, man, if you only can like find enjoyment in using the most max tier, like, look at this. This is King's Grace, dude. This is a shit item. It's pretty average. Someone could be like, oh, for a Fury Barb you need to use like fucking Duress and actually not Duress, what am I thinking? You need to use Black and Grief, and then you can just get items. It's like, no, I don't have those items and I'm only a Nightmare. What do I do? Like, how do I make the character? To me, that's more important than just being like, oh, this is the character at max tier. How do I get there, fucking smart guy? That's like the big problem in RuneScape in general, though, is there's also no mid-game.
Not here.
Not here at all, no. So, like, I think they're adding a new boss right now in polling. It's like that fucking Vor Rat thing. Like, am I gonna fight it? Yeah, probably. Do I need to? Not really. Is it interesting and new? Sure. Will I try it out day one? Probably not. Will I try it eventually? Yeah, totally. Why not? Like, it's a new boss. What's to not love? You know, people can be like, oh, you really want to get the shit from Obor and, like, Bryophyta? Yeah, why wouldn't I? I think it's fun. It's a new boss to me. I've never seen it. It wasn't in the game when I used to play. And it's something that I can do for fun if I have a lot of giant keys or mossy keys. Getting those keys is a bunch of shit. Let's not beat around the bush. And I don't want to go in the wilderness to get like an extra drop chance, but if I ever get them, cool. I'd like to get a Bryophyta's Essence. Why not? It's not good. I'm not going to make use out of it. But will I have it? Oh, it's like... What's a good example? I have a Mist Battle Staff? Like, is a Mist Battle Staff ultimately very good? No, that's just a really low drop chance on the Mega Rare drop table. I mean, is it good? No. Does it have very many uses for me? Not really. Is it a proud trophy I got, though? Yeah, totally. Is Abyssal Sire a good boss to most people? No. But do I have an Abyssal Helmet because I got the head drop? Yeah. I have 3 KBD heads. Why don't I do the black one? It looks cooler, right? Because Abyssal Sire is one of my favorite bosses. It's sentimental. I love Abyssal Demons. They're one of my favorite enemies in the game. Are their drops inherently that good? No. But it's a fun thing I remember getting to when I used to play back in the day, so it means something to me personally. I think Abyssal Sire is a cooler looking boss than most. That's why I like it. It reminds me of Azmodan from Diablo and Bale, so I'm like, oh, I like that boss. So, yeah. We're gonna call it here. What did we get? Did I get any gems or anything? No, I didn't. So yeah, let's call it here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. We'll take on Diablo. I'll do that some other day. Have a good one.